Hi, today I'll be showing you how to achieve this face masking effect, which is similar to the music video of Lord Huron's song. I'm by no means an expert touch designer, and this tutorial in many ways is a way for me to teach myself touch designer. So without further ado, let's begin. So we're going to start off with a brand new file. The first thing you need to do is make sure you create a folder where you can put your file. So my folder is called Final Tutorial and my file is called Tutorial Final. And to kind of give you a give you a sense of how things look, these are the only two files that show up once you hit save. So this is my folder and these are two files. Next, what you want to do is you want to head over to the link provided in my description, which is the Media Pipe add-on. This was created by Huron, who is a creative technologist, and he's done an amazing job with this plugin. It's helped so many people. He has a YouTube channel where he dives a little bit deeper into the nitty-gritty of things, how each component works. I definitely advise you to check it out, and he has a more in-depth setup on how to control gestures and whatnot. Highly recommend you watch those videos. So once you follow those tutorials and the links that are provided, you should be having something that looks like this. We're gonna go inside the face filter example and play around with this. And again, since I'm very much a beginner, I'm sure there's a better way to do this, but here's what I figured out. So right now we're getting the canonical face model, which we need to change to a sphere. So add in, a circle. So add in a circle SOP, and let's also add in a transform, just so we can have a more oval shape. And if I get into the circle SOP here, 0.7, 0.1, and 1. Okay, so 0.7. Oh, what was it? It was the scale. Okay. 0.7, 1. 0.7, 0.9, and 1. 0.9 and 1. Okay. And what we want to do is we want to replace this mask here. So if your shape seems too tiny, don't worry. It's more of a camera and scaling thing that you need to play around with over here. So that's like a trial and error kind of experimentation. So in my case, you can see the scale I've used here is 9.86. So I'm just going to try copying that, 9.86. And again, guys, this is just very much a trial and error sort of situation. What we can do right now is we can add in a composite here, and let's add this. Let's make this over. Okay. Oh, sorry. Is it add? Yep, it's add, not over. Sorry. Yep. So you can see that the axis is very much off. So this is something that can be adjusted from within the face filter example here. You got to play around with the transform and the camera. So I'm going to highlight the camera, and by right clicking on my mouse, not left clicking, I'm just going to move this a little bit. And always make sure to deselect this, because sometimes you might zoom out while this is selected and becomes like a big nightmare. So I think this is not bad. Maybe if we zoom in a little bit more, and again, be very careful. So I hit this and I zoom in a little bit more, and I think this is quite good, right? So again, you can play around with those metrics, but essentially, as far as the face filter is concerned, these are all the changes we're going to make over here. Now, any sort of decorative stuff comes outside, right? So that's what the tutorial is going to be about. So for now, what we can do is we can disconnect this, and we can disable this for now. And this is where we need to start decorating our stuff. So if I go back to my thing over here, I've got a null and I have all this stuff. So we start off with a noise and 4 edges, a noise and 4 edges. So start off with noise, right, and transform. Okay. So you go to the transform and you have abs time dot seconds divided by 10. You have abs time dot seconds divided by 100. If I just can't see that, okay, and 0 0.7, 0 0.7. Let's look at here. 1111, 100. Oh, yeah, 110. And I think I flipped it the other way around. 110. Okay, amazing. Let's go to the noise here, and the noise is, I believe I didn't play around with that. 0 0.7. Oh, the exponent is 2.5. Alright, so let's make the exponent here 2.5. Exponent is 2.5, and the amplitude is 0.5, offset is 0.5, 0.7, 2251, 0.7, 2251. There you go. Okay, so that's the noise over here. Then the edges, we need 5 edges here. Change the edge to 1, right? Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 5 edges here, and what we're going to do is we're going to connect this here. Connect, 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 connect. And you should see something that kind of looks like this. And are we on the right track? Yes, yes, we definitely are on the right track. And I'm just going to change this to, oops, parent panel size. Yeah, cool. So here we've got the 5 edges, and we are gonna need a feedback and another comp. So let's do that. Let's get our feedback top here and another composite over here. Okay, and of course we need to add some stuff here, which is why we're getting this error. So we've got the feedback, we've got the composite, and we need to add a level. Amazing, cool. So in our feedback 1, yeah, in our level 1 we have 0.9. We haven't really changed anything, we just need to add the level here. So add the level here. We we changed the brightness to 0.9. Okay, brightness is 0.9. And again guys, you can play around with these settings. That's what Touch Designer is all about, just experimenting and seeing how things change. This is what we get here, and what we need to do now is we need to drag this composite to the feedback one. Okay, and this has to be, I believe, add, and yeah, you get something like this, if I'm not mistaken. Very cool. Now we need to add some color. I'm sorry for the sirens if you can hear that. Now we need to add some color, so let's add another comp to this composite, and just gonna put this here. So we've got another composite here, and let's add a ramp, and you can choose whatever colors you want. Let's go with this, maybe let's add like a bright green this time. Let's get rid let's add somewhat of a black. Yeah, let's add a black here, right? And let's do that. Again, you can play around with this, completely your call. You don't necessarily have to use this, but very much your call, right? So let's have that, and let's add it to this. And again, common, never forget the parent panel size. Ooh, I am so jaded right now. Parent panel resolution, yeah. Oh yes, user input. My bad. I keep getting confused. Yes, and this is multiply, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, multiply, and then we have a null here. You know what? I think I'm gonna get rid of the face be 1, and I think 0 or whatever it was. What was the period here? Phase is 0 and period is phase is 0. It is 1. I think let's stick to that. And let's get rid of the blacks here. Maybe add another color. I think let's add like an orange. Yeah. So we've added this orange. We've got this comp here. So it looks like. And now let's add a null to this. Very good. Okay, so we've added a null to this now. Now, what we're going to do is, since we already have our circle here, we're going to add in another comp over here. This one goes into this. Oh. This one goes into this. The other one goes into that. And you should be getting something like this now. So it's tracking your head's movement, and you've got this cool shape. And I believe we're still not done yet, because once we're done stylizing everything here, that's when we add it to this comp and add it to our camera. But for now, let's just adjust this. I think we add a gloom now, if I am not mistaken. Okay. So we added a null after that, and a comp. Yeah, we added the comp. Okay, we've got to add a blur now. A blur, a bloom, and another null. Okay, so a blur, a bloom, and another null. So let's add a blur. Is it after this? Yes. A blur, bloom. Right, so I think I'm gonna use this. It looks kind of cool, and you can play around with these sort of things. A blur, a bloom, and another null. Okay, so once you're happy with your design, then take this and add it to the comp here, and you should now be seeing something that looks kind of like this, very similar to what you have. Right now the blend mode is add, but again, play around with that. I believe the one that I used there was brightest. Oop, maybe not. What did I use there? Let's see. Lighter color is what I used. So here, let's go to lighter color. Where's lighter color, darker color? Yes. So it's kind of harsh right now, and I think that's very much to do with the blur settings that we enabled here. If we can, if I kind of go back to what I did here, if I look at my blur settings, so filter size is 45 and pre-shrink is 1. Filter size is, pre-shrink is 1, filter size is 45. Yes, okay, very nice. And then for the bloom, I've got it to, I don't think I changed any settings in the bloom. 0.6 and 111. Bloom is 0.6, 111. Yeah. So this is pretty much what it is. If you guys want to, maybe let's put an out here, just so we can get a performance mode. And yeah, it's just kind of like the effect we're talking about here. So now you too can grab your guitar. Thank you for watching, and I apologize for all the mistakes or making this longer than it should have been, but this is very much a learning experience for me too. And if you can get the exact effect shown in the music video, please share it with me. And if this helped you in any way, let me know. And thank you. Take care. Bye bye.